All righty, and we are live down here also. Cool beans. All right, we're gonna give me 1 second while I check on YouTube, see if that's actually working. All right, need the glasses for this one. Sit tight, we're getting there. Just hold on a minute before we go much further. Give me a dime so I can phone my YouTube right there. YouTube. Gotta check, make sure the YouTube is streaming okay. And then we can get started. Oh, look at this. Live and live. Yay, we're all ready to roll. Cool beans. All right, that being said, we don't need to see this anymore. That will leave up just in case people want to find out. 2025, there we go. And there we go. And let's get started. One more second. We just gotta get this thing in line. And there that is. Come on. All righty, we are ready to roll. So let's get started. All righty. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk. Nicole, if you almost lose a cash account, should I stop or try harder? Tried trading pre-earnings, lost 95%. Holy cow. Sit tight for a second. Mercer, good evening. Glad to see you back. Yep, took a week off. Hope you guys didn't miss me too much. Vacation. Interesting thing about the vacation I took. I went up to Maine, did absolutely nothing. All right, I chopped some wood, did some lumberjack shit, moved some dirt around. That's about it. But other than that, basically sat and watched TV and videos all the time. I purposely did not turn my computer on at all, except for the morning trading group. Okay, for those guys that are in the morning trading group, we trade every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 a.m., okay, and a Friday at 2:30. So other than that, I didn't turn my computer on at all. So I did absolutely nothing. Anyway, let's go and see who's here tonight. Say hello to everyone before we get started. Who's here? Mercer, good evening. Dell for Sheriff. Good evening, Dell for Sheriff. James, Rich Burner, new time, 8:30. We're going to go 8:30 to 11. So, Nicole at Life. MD Towen, good evening. Okay, so Nicole, if you almost lose a cash account, should I stop, try harder? Try trading pre-earnings and lost 95%. Okay, Nicole, I'm terribly sorry, kiddo, that you lost that much money, and I don't know what to tell you. But here, I am very specific in what I'm doing, okay? I'm looking for simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose trading strategy. Now, I'm going to show it to you as the day progresses. We're going to go over everything, okay? I'm going to show you exactly what I do. I do basically covered calls on dividend stocks. So it says in the intro, Dividend Stock Talk, or investing in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. Now, if you're looking to get a huge win, you know, a stock that goes from here, shoots up like a rocket, you're in the wrong place. That is not what I'm looking for. There are there's actually 3 different types of stocks. One's private. We can't do that. But the other 2, okay, those either growth stocks or cash producing stocks. Same thing. They're both stocks, companies. Okay, so what I'm looking for companies that have dividends. That means they take the profits and they share it with us, the investors. Now, we check every week. We didn't check last week, so I'm kind of looking forward to checking this week to see how many dividend stocks or how many stocks altogether are there. And what better time to start than right now? So let's pull it up and find out exactly how many stocks are we looking at this week. Okay, first thing I want to do is go to FinViz, Financial Visualizations. There it is right there. FinViz Stock Screener. Basically what it does, it searches all the different stocks for all the different criteria you might be looking for in order to isolate down from what is available and what is looking at. Okay, so I'm looking for one thing and one thing only from this website. You can find whatever you want here. It's a lot of information. I'm only looking for one thing, and that's that right there. That number right there. Okay, every week they add and take away stocks. Well, this week, starting tonight, there are 10,321 different companies we can invest in. That's a lot. 10,321. Remember that number, because that's a lot to pick from. Well, I only look at about 300 different companies. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but let's keep on progressing forward. So anyway, FinViz, you can take a look at anything up here. You know, volume, earnings, options, what industry, analyst recommendations, whole bunch of interesting stuff you can find. But the only thing I'm looking for is that right there. That number right there. It changes every week. So this week, 10,321 different companies we can take a look at. We can invest in. Yeah, you have fun with that. I only like companies that are consistently profitable. So let's get out of this. Out of that. Out of that. And bring that down to here. Here we go. All right. So that being said, let's keep on saying hi to everyone. Okay. Sundin, good evening. Mohammed, good evening. Dust Boy. Gerald, Mina. Big Belly Jim. Okay. Big Belly Jim. Cool. Bruno, what's happening? Hole in One. How you doing, Hole in One? Big Tony, Nicolette, I only trade, man. Okay, Nicole, I have Amazon? Yeah, no, thank you. I don't do Amazon, and there's a reason why I don't do Amazon. You're relatively new here. Hang out, chill, see what's going on. Okay, so over here on another TikTok channel, what do we have? Arab Reach, Trader United, Danny, Diego, Christopher, The Coucho. The Coucho. Now that is an interesting name. Will Rafidi, Alexander, Kathy, what's happening? G-Paw Stevens, PC Repair, Jay Hawker, Thomas, what's going on? Jose, que pasa? Tony, Fladanka, interesting name. Tim Bauer, Reggie, what's going on? Felix, Sanford, Remarkable, cool. Bryant, Johnny Dill, Wild Ride coming up soon. Hang on the roller coaster. I'm going to listen to you. I hear what you're saying. Jay Leach, which ETFs are good? Okay, sit tight. You're new here, Jay Lee. Hello. Most people usually say hi, hello, all that kind of nice, neat stuff first, but, you know, let's just slide. Pearl, thank you for that. Johnny Dill, good evening. Austin, Austin was saying something. I was starting to worry about you. Took a week off. Some comments in this live were filtered. Remember that. Fladanka, thank you. Darren, good evening. Good evening, James. Can we take a look at NEE, NextEra? Of course we can. Matter of fact, that'll be the first one we take a look at today. NEE, ask and you shall receive. Matthew 24, in case you were wondering. Lynn, what's happening? Old dog is in the house. Rude dude. Dude, I haven't seen you in a while. Old dog, how you doing? Michael Howell, good evening. Tailored by the Swift. AC/DC man. If I had Walgreens and Pfizer's, wait a minute. Hi, I have Walgreens, Pfizer, and Waste Management. Okay, AC/DC man. We'll take a look at those. Sit tight. Hello, sir. What's your trading strategy? Good evening, good evening. Most people say hi, hello first, but it's okay. How's your day going? My day is kind of quiet. Just got back from a vacation yesterday up in Maine. Did a lot of nothing. Nothing, nothing, and then more nothing. All right. So IS, we're going to tell you that strategy in a couple of seconds. First of all, I'm almost done with the intro saying hi to everyone. Scotty, what's happening? All right, what do we have over here? MD Towen, good evening. Andrew, good evening. Towen, good evening. Bruno from Portugal, cool evening. Raw Impact. You know, the best thing about the internet, you can commit the worst crimes imaginable and not have to keep them to yourself. Sharing it online to relieve guilt is possible without admitting to anyone. Why the hell would you tell me that? Raw Impact, look at Sachem Capital. You actually got to give me the ticker symbol to take a look. Okay, stop with the stupidity. We are here to learn, and no one listen to your stupid stuff. Thank you, Bruno. Welcome back. Thank you, John. I have money and crypto to burn. Let's do business. Username, good evening. Flame and go. No idea what that means. Mike, who cheese steak? I have no idea what that means. All right. Toki. Now I see what this dude got in him for doing that. I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. We love fish brine. Oh my God. Do cocaine before we start. Uh-oh. Bruno. YouTube is full of crazy people making comments. Also too much kids with too much free time. I'm gonna listen to you too. All right. I'm just gonna have to start deleting people. This is ridiculous. All right, there's that one. Wow, imagine that. Okay, the Roach, what's happening? What are the fees? Sir, how are you today? Now, Johnny, what's going on? Don't let the big drop scare you. Big drop? I haven't seen a big drop. We'll take a look at it. Okay, Sir Edmund, you will not hear me at all say anything about money whatsoever. I don't ask people for money. We're all adults. We know how it works. Up in the bio, it gives you information about me, what you can buy, what you cannot buy, blah, 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 the kind of nice, neat stuff. All right, anyway, besides the point, let's go and get to work. All right, first one we're going to take a look at. Now, my strategy is very simple. Back in 2008, not quite sure if you guys remember back in 2008, my 9-year-old daughter, JC, jumped on my lap and said, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? Imagine that. Can you teach me? 9-year-old wants to learn how to trade the stock market. Well, most adults don't get it. Most adults don't understand it. So how am I supposed to teach a 9-year-old how to invest? Well, here's the challenge. Number one, it had to be simple. Number two, it had to be safe, predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. People like that fifth one, no way to lose. Let me explain that just a little bit. When I say no way to lose, the best stock opportunities come with big risk of being on the ground floor. Johnny Dill, thank you for that very much. As you see, Johnny, as we progress, you will see as it progresses. We do things a little bit differently here. I'm not looking for what everyone else is looking for. Kiki, it's a good idea to reinvest the dividends. Well, of course. Well, we all have different goals. My goal is to live off of my dividends and live off the interest that I get on a weekly basis. Dustin wants to look at BAC, Bank of America. We'll take a look at that one. It's Andrea. Good evening, Andrea. All right, I got to back up a little bit because I didn't get all of these. There's a couple of them you guys wanted me to take a look at, so I'm going to back up a little bit. All right, so sit tight. We're going to take a look. I'm going to try to take a look at everything. Okay, I do try to answer each and every individual question. The challenge we're having nowadays is we are up to nine channels. That means I'm broadcasting live to 9 different channels around the world, which means there's a lot of questions coming in from all different directions. So if you have a question, please ask it once. Try to make it a complete question so I can understand the whole thing. Okay? Keep talking, user. How are you doing? Are you into crypto? No, I am not into crypto. Okay, Stan the man. I'm only investing my money into companies that have at least 2 decades of profitability. As a matter of fact, the only 2 criteria any of my stock have is only 2. 1, consistently profitable for at least 2 decades. That's 20 years. And number 2, weekly options. That's it. 2 criteria. Consistently profitable and weekly options. Other than that, I don't want to look at it. There's 10,321 different companies. I have no desire to look at any of them. I don't care how promising they look. I don't care how wonderful the lineup is, what kind of products they offer. If they have not proven themselves worthy of my time and my money, I'm not going to do it. But that's me. Okay, you guys are here to see what I'm doing. I'm creating what I call a video log, a video diary for my children and my grandchildren. So when I am gone, they will have something to go back at and say, hey, how did Papa G do that? How did he take where he was to what he left us? Where? How? Well, that's what this video dialogue is for. Now, I had videos going all the way back to 2012. Okay, 2011, 2012. That's a long time ago. All those videos. I have over 1,100 videos. Some for my children and grandchildren to watch when I'm gone. Fine. It is what it is. You want to know? Fine. There you go. All right, so first we want to look at tonight. Now, as the night progresses, you're going to see from ground zero to an actual trades that we're going to actually do some trades tonight, so you see how I do it. Now, what I'm looking for, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. Now, a lot of you might think 1% is not a lot. Well, I'll tell you what, 1% is boring as hell. 1% is monotonous. 1% is tedious. It drives me nuts. But guess what? It's also predictable. It's also consistent. So, yeah, it takes me 15, 20 minutes every day to get 1% per week. They're simple, easy trades. Remember? Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose. Well, that was for my 9-year-old daughter. That was her criteria for her. So you guys are a little older, so it's going to be a little bit different for you guys. Okay. 5 rules. You remember? Here we go. 5 rules. Rule number 1, never buy something that's not on the list. What do I mean by that? Well, for my 9-year-old, there was a list of stocks. Yeah? Now, the stocks had to have at least 2 decades of consistent profitability and weekly options. How do you find them? You ready? If you got a pencil, a piece of paper, it might be handy to take notes, because here we go. List number 1, Dividend Kings. I believe there's about 54 companies that have increased their profits for 5 decades or more, just to get on that elite list of a Dividend King. 5 decades. That's 50 years of increased profitability. List number 2, Dividend Aristocrats. 25 years of increased profitability. Dividend Champions, list number 3. Again, 25 years of increased profitability. The rules are a little bit different between the Aristocrats and the Champions. But still, 25 years of increased profits. List number 4, the Dividend Contenders. 10 to 24 years of increased profitability. And then for the fun of it, we're going to throw in Warren Buffett's list, just for the fun of it. Now, between those 5 lists, you should have roughly right about 300 different companies that have options and are consistently profitable. So that being said, let's look at rule number 2. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. If you intend on buying a stock, buy it with the intention of taking it to the grave with you, meaning never sell at a loss. But if it just so happens to hit my exit target, fine, see you later. Simple, right? What are you liking for this week? Brad, we haven't gotten there yet. We're still going through the introductory. Sir, when you will tell your trading strategy? In about 2 seconds. Sit tight. Rule number 3, make sure the company is consistently profitable. To me, it makes no sense investing into a company that is not profitable. I like 2 decades, that's 20 years. If you think that's a lot, well, the stock market's been around for 400 years. So I don't think 20 years is a lot. Rule number 4, weekly options only. No weekly options? No, thank you. No dividends? No, thank you. Simple. You need to mirror your phone. Jeffrey, you're not the first person to say that. You are on YouTube. YouTube, I do not have the little mirror your image. So unfortunately, everything looks backwards. But the other channels, everything's the same. Sorry, Jerry. Rule number 5, make sure all the numbers work. Now, we're going to look at a few trades tonight, and if all the numbers work, we're actually going to walk through the trades. It's very simple. Pre-qualified dividend stocks. Any company is consistently profitable for more than 25 years or more and has weekly options. Buy it just before the EX date. The EX date is just before they pay out their dividends. because stocks have a tendency to increase in price, value, or whatever you want to call it. Stock price goes up just before the dividend is paid out. Okay, and then we want to do one of the simplest, safest trading strategies there is. That is called a covered call. Okay, now, after that, we want to double check the numbers, make sure the numbers work. So as we progress through the evening, you're going to see how everything works. Any question you have, please make sure it's a good question. Make sure it's a complete question too. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 screens I am looking at, and there are questions on each screen. So I can't go backwards and take a look at what you said previously. So if you have something to say, make sure it's a complete question. Brad, what am I liking this week? We're going to see that in a minute. All right, so everything being said, first stock we're going to look at tonight is going to be NEE, NextEra. Okay, now NextEra is on my list. Now, as you see, I do the exact same things over and over and over. You go back to, as far back as you want to go. I get videos all the way back in 2011. If you want to take a look at them, I look at certain things. The 1-year chart, 90-day chart, 30-day chart, seasonality chart, and then I want to take a look at the numbers. Now, this week, we're getting a vibe board. I don't know if you know what a vibe board is, but a vibe board is going to allow me to open it up and squeeze it out and be able to see better. So we'll be getting that, I believe, tomorrow. So I'm hoping tomorrow, the next day, we'll have it all hooked up, and things might be a little bit different, which should be cool. All right. That being said, let's take a look at NextEra. Very first thing, I want to take a look at the 1-year chart. It's going to take me 3 to 4 seconds. That's all it should take you to find out whether or not it's worth a second look. Because 3 to 4 seconds, you can find these 5 things. You ready? 5. You ready? Count them up. 1, high. 2, low. 3, where was it a year ago? 4, where is it now? That takes 2 seconds to figure that one. The last one takes a little bit longer. What's the momentum? Up, down, up, down, up. That's it. 3 to 4 seconds. High, low, was, is, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, right now it's at 72.41. Great. So if I'm going to buy this tomorrow morning at 72.41, the safest strategy that I know of where you don't have to do anything and still make a profit is the covered call. It means I buy the stock at the current price. I sell it to someone else for as close as I can to the current price, and I collect what is called a premium on a call option. So I sell call options because 80% of all options are going to expire worthless. So do I want to buy options? No, I want to sell them. I want to be on the 80% side. So if 80% of them all expire worthless, why would I buy one? I want to sell them to be on the 80% side. Now, granted, I'm not making a huge amount of money, but guess what? It takes me 5 or 10 minutes to sell some options. And I get 1% just about every single week. Now, 1% a week, if you did not know, comes to over 50% per year. Now, 10 to 15 minutes a day, average it out. That's about 1 hour a week. Now, depending on what your account size is, the bigger your account is, the more value your 1 hour per week is. So if you have, let's say, 50 grand, 1 hour of your time is going to be worth $500. If you have 100 grand, 1 hour of your time is going to be worth $1,000. You get 10 grand, 1 hour of your time is going to be worth $100. Sorry, it just is what it is. Now, the reason why I'm saying that, I'm 61. I'm retired. So I've been working since 1973. So that's over 50 years of working. I think I'm due to retire. So the amount of money I've collected over all those working years now has to pay for my living expenses. What do we have here, John? Risky week for NEE. Their primary holdings, Florida Power and Light, has submitted a request for the largest ratepayer increase in U.S. history. Hearings start tomorrow. Have some NEE, but be careful. Ooh, interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you, John. Good info. Absolutely good info. Bruno, can you see Lockheed Martin, Nike, and Chevron, please? Bruno, sit tight. We got a bunch of stocks you guys want me to take a look at. I will take a look at whatever stocks you want to take a look at. Unless, of course, they're extremely horrible, in my opinion. What I'm looking for specifically is cash flow. All right? Cash flow, that's what I'm looking for. All right, so high, low is, look at the direction, cool. 72.41, the closest strike price to 72.41 is going to be the 72.50. And that's going for 94 cents. Now, if you do not know your math, well, you better get pretty quick with it, because I don't know about you guys, but math is something I use on a daily basis. Not just because I'm a trader, because I have bills to pay, which means I know when my money is coming. I know when my money is going. So if I do work here, I get this in order to pay my bills here. Okay, so math comes in handy. So 1%. 72.41. Now I'm looking for 1%. 1% of 72.41 is 72 cents. That's it. You take the decimal point, you move it over 2 places. 1% of $72 is 72 cents. 94 cents is higher than 72 cents. So yeah, that is well over 1%. Fine, this might be our first one we take a look at. So first thing, make a list of stocks. Second thing, put the list of stock in a calendar. Third thing, pull up the chart. The chart, yeah, high, low, is great. Now let's look at the numbers. The numbers, 72.41 to 72.50 is going for 94. That's well over 1%. Great. What does that mean now? Now we move to the next step, where we actually take a deeper dive into the chart. Because deep diving into the chart will give you a good idea of where it's going to go based on the buying and selling of me and you. Because me and you are the buyers and sellers. Now, we may be just a small group of buyers and sellers, but for the most part, we're all basically looking to do the same thing. Buy something, sell something, earn a profit, move on. Okay, great. So let's take a look. A year ago, NextEra opened up at 77.22. The high of the year, the high of the year was the beginning of November, 86.27. Well, the bottom of the year was right here, the second week of April, 61.76. This is the bottom of the year. Look at the pattern. I love pattern. This is the last 90 days. Pattern recognition. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now it's going up. That is a clear sign. See? Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now it's going back up again. I like a bounce off of a 30-day top, off of a 30-day bottom. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. You get a better idea. So the last 30 days would be right there. The 10th. Right there. Here we go. So take a look. 73 jumps up to 78. Big drop. I like to call this profit taking. When a stock goes from here, from 73 to 78, that's a $5 increase. A $5 increase on a $70 stock, well, not quite 10%, but enough to get enough people to jump out and start taking profits, which brings it down to the 30-day bottom right there. I love a 30-day bottom, especially coming off of a top like that. And she shoots back up again. So yeah, she is shooting back up. How far is it going to go? Well, there's a few things to keep your eye on. Number one, the bottom right here, and the current distance between the bottom and here. So between here, 69 and 70 is $4. Okay, that's a half, wait a minute, that's 5%. That's a 5% increase. That's about it. Usually you see 10, 15, 20% before profit taking takes place. Well, we'll see what happens. Shoots up. Here we are right here. Now, let's take a gander and see if this one makes sense. I like NextEra, so let's see what it looks like. Let's get this out of here. Now, remember I told you the safest trading strategy that I know of is buying a stock. Just buying it. That's safe, right? But there's no profitability until something moves or you sell something. So look at it this way. A covered call is a safe strategy. You only got to do it once, and it usually takes care of itself by the end of the week. So let me go slow and explain it slowly and see if you understand it. So at this moment in time, these are all the different trading strategies. I only give away one for free, and that's the covered call. So you could ask me about the other ones. I know about them. but I'm not going to share them because I got to draw the line somewhere. I'm here for 2 or 3 hours every single night. Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. 5 nights a week. I'm here for 2.5, 3 hours. Just sharing information willingly, not asking for anything in particular. So I only give away one for free. Now, it just so happens it is simple, it's safe, it's predictable, it's consistent, it can get me 1% a week. 1% a week is about 50% per year. And if 50% a year is not enough for you, I can't help you out. Anyway, so here's the covered call. I love Thinkorswim. If you're curious, this here is a trading platform called Thinkorswim. It's offered through Charles Schwab. It's one of the biggest brokerages in the house. Anyway, so the 72.50 right there, that's the one I want right there. So let's buy that one. 72.50 right there, and that's it. Here we go. One thing I like about Thinkorswim, it sets everything up for me. All I have to do is just decide how many contracts I want. Now, I have mine preset for 10, but with you guys, I'm just going to do one to give you a good idea of what one looks like. Now, I always buy it at the market at the opening day. Now, the reason I buy it at the market at the opening of the day, because the market orders at the opening of the day fill instantaneously. So at 9:31, I will have bought and sold my position. Because selling options, I'm looking for the most amount of time I have available. And the most amount of time I have available is from 9:30 Monday morning until 3:59 p.m. Friday afternoon. For a weekly option, that is the most amount of time there is. Because you can't buy before 9:30 and you can't sell after 4 p.m. on Friday. So that's the most amount of time. That's why I do most of my trading first thing Monday morning. So first thing Monday morning at 9 a.m., me and a bunch of other traders will get together and we'll actually do, I do 3 accounts first thing in the morning. You get to see everything that I do. Then you can ask me whatever questions you want. James, why'd you do that? Well, that doesn't make any sense to me. Can you explain? You know, stuff like that. So here we go. Buy one covered call, NEE, that's NextEra. 100 means it is the weekly optionable stock, okay? 15 August 25. That's this coming Friday. That's all that means. That's just the date. The 72.5 call option, remember, that's the one we looked at. The current price, 72.41. 72.5 is the closest strike price. So if I'm buying it at 72.41 and I'm selling it at 72.50, what am I making? I'm making the premium. Do I really care which way the stock goes? Nope, not at all. Now, I don't buy as it's trending down. So I don't do that. See, as soon as it hits bottom, turns around, starts going back up, that's where I buy. Do I care how far it goes up? No, don't care at all. As a matter of fact, I would prefer the stock just to stay the exact same or go sideways. But let's keep on moving forward. And everything will make sense as we progress. So the 72.5 call option against the stock at the market to open to open. Now, the reason it says to open, it's 2 orders in one. I'm buying the stock. That gets sent off to New York. I'm selling the stock option, the call option, that's going to Chicago. New York, Chicago. To open, you got to open 2 orders. Eventually, what I'm looking for the stock to do absolutely nothing, just stay where it is or go up, but between now and Friday. Now, if it goes up, I got 2 things I can do. One, I can roll it forward into a next week if they are willing to pay me another 1% or more, or I can just let it go, let someone take it away from me, get all my money back, and then I still get to keep the premium. So let's see what it looks like. There's the order right there. Maximum profit, $105.50. Now remember when I said simple? Okay, covered calls the simplest, one of the simplest trading strategies. Safe, it is one of the safest trading strategies also. It is safe, so safe they say you can do it in your IRA, blessed by the U.S. government today. I don't know, however you want to do it. But it is a trading strategy you can do in your retirement account. There's a lot of trading strategies you cannot do in your retirement account, but you can do covered calls. They are actually that safe, and the government says, sure, you can do one of those. So, simple, safe, predictable. I know exactly what I'm going to make before I even do that. Most of the time, people will buy a stock and have no clue whatsoever where their exit point is. If you have no idea where you're jumping off the merry-go-round, you're just going to keep going round and round and round until you decide to jump off. I know what I'm going to make before I even do it. That is a deciding factor. 105 is what I'm walking away with on this particular trade for one contract. Now, if I can afford to do 10 contracts, I'll do 10. If I can afford to do 23, I'll do 23. You've got to figure out what is right for you. So there's a couple of things. We're going to get to that in a second. Let's finish up here. So 105.50 is the profit on this one trade. Okay, cost of the trade, including commissions and fees. That's my investment. Okay, 71.45. And the reason why I'm calling it an investment is because I am looking to create weekly cash flow. Let's call this a weekly cash flow asset. Think of it kind of like a vending machine. Candy machine, soda machine, cigarette machine, one of those machines. You just put a few dollars in it, click, click, boom, you get your stuff out. As an owner of one of these machines, you got to dish out a big chunk, 7,100. Okay, at the end of the week, you come by, take all the money out. How much did you make? Well, on my little cash machine, 7,100 bucks, it gave me 105 bucks this week alone. Let's figure out the math on that, shall we? First thing we want to do is pull up the calculator, because that will give us an idea of our profit. Now, to figure out the profit, we take the calculator, we take the profit right here, 105.50, 105.50, and we're going to divide it by cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, 71.45. Sit tight. I got a few more numbers to share with you. 71.45. 71.45. And that can be a grand total of 1.47. 1.47% for 1 week. Have missed your nightlies. Hey, Laurie, how you doing? Vibe with Tio. Tio, covered calls on index funds and ETFs? Absolutely. What are we buying tomorrow? Hey, Hollywood's in the house. Hold tight, hold tight. You guys, all these questions over here. So, this one right here. Now, this, what I just showed you, is all cash. And the reason I'm saying that is a little twist to this story. Are you ready? So, if I'm going to do this trade using all cash, I'm going to walk away with 1.47%. That's 1.5%. Remember a couple of years ago where CDs were offering 1.5% for the year? This, 1.5% for 1 week. Imagine that, 1.5% a week, every single week. That's almost doubling your money in 13 weeks, maybe? No, not 13 months. Sorry. About a year. You can double your money about a year at 1.4% a week. Don't believe me? Let me go. Multiply by 52, because it's 52 weeks in a year. That's 76.7% in 1 year. 13 months would be 52, would be 56. Anyway, what I'm going to show you now is margin. Now, I always tell people never, ever, ever do margin until you understand the risks involved with them. You ready? This number here, buying power effect, 35.24. So if I have a margin account, I don't have to dish out 71, I only have to dish out 35. So let's see what that number looks like. So 105.5 divided by 35.24. 35.24 comes a grand total. That's not right. Get that out of there. Let's try this one more time. 105.5 divided by 35.24. 2.99%. Okay, so cost of trade, including commissions and fees, 71.45 if it's an all cash account. Now, most people just starting out, you should not do margin. Margin means you're borrowing someone else's money to do your trades. And if you're not good at it, you could lose someone else's money. And that's not a good thing at all. Okay, so never do margin until you understand everything that goes along with it. But yeah, margin can double or triple your rates of return. Look at this, 2.99% for 1 week. That's insane. Insane, I tell you. All right, let's look at something else. So that is NextEra Energy. Now, here's the big question. Question number one. Now, excuse me, this should be something on the top of your mind. Number one, does it make sense? Number two, do you like this company? Number three, do you like this company at this current price? And of course, number four, are you willing to hold on to it until the day you die and continuously do covered calls every single week after week after week after week? Jack, what's my job? I don't have a job anymore. I'm retired. I suppose you could say my new job is to be the mastermind of whatever estate I plan to leave for my children. Because as of this moment in time, barely anything is in my name. It's all in the corporation's name, which is going to the children when I'm gone. Okay, I have no delusions thinking I'm going to live forever. But they all know that. What do you got there, Gates? I hear ya. Did I split some wood? Yes, I did. Bunch of firewood. Okay, so Mark wants to take a look at Hertz. Okay. Yeah, Gates, what's up? Gates, I can hear you. Operator error. Yeah, I hear you. I turn the fan on. It's getting a little warm in here. All right, gather your thoughts, Gates. We're going to go on to something else. Lynn, hello. Old dog. Rude dude, good evening. Taylor, Michael, ACDC man, Walgreens, and Pfizer. Let's go take a look. All right, back to single. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Walgreens. Wow. Walgreens, here we go. Take a gander. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Down, up, down, up. Oh, and it's continuing going. 11.94. 11.94. The 12s are going for 7 cents. Nope. Sorry. We got rid of our Walgreens once they got bought out. They had that contract a while back. Get bought out. Ever since that, all the premiums were horrible. So we just don't do it anymore. Now, Walgreens was one of our better performers last year. Made a huge amount of money on Walgreens until they got bought out. So, no to Walgreens. What else do we have? Okay, Mark wants to take a look at Hertz. Now, I do have some Hertz. Okay. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up. What's going on here? Interesting scenario. Take a little look if the numbers work out. 556 to 550s are going for 25 cents. I'm not quite sure if you know that, but 25 cents on a $5 stock. Yeah, that's about a 5% return for 1 week. The numbers look good. But what's the chart telling me? Let's zoom in a little bit closer. You ready? A year ago, 344. Ooh. Bottom of the year, 249, and that was the second week of September last year. Okay, well, the high of the year, right there at 939 in the end of April. Right towards the end of April, 939. Okay, down, up, down, up, down. What's going on here? It doesn't look that good here, but let's zoom in a little bit closer. the last 30 days. Okay, so here's the last 30 days. 30-day high, 30-day low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Sideways, down, up, down. So what's going on here? Here, we're looking for a new bottom and a new entry point. Now, what I like is I like a bottom, which is right here. Then I like 2 days to the upside. Well, that was Thursday. Not so much on Friday. So I'm still waiting for another day to the upside. Upside means right around here, the 650 area. Okay, so if tomorrow she jumps up to 650 area, then I will think about jumping in. Now, I already have some hertz. But before I jump back in again, I want 2 days to the upside from the bottom coming off of the 30-day high. 30-day high, she drops, now she's bouncing and going back up again. I will not jump back in until it has satisfied my curiosity, at least 2 days above the bottom, which was last Wednesday. So no 2 hertz for this week. Now I already own some, so we will keep our eye on it. As soon as she turns around and has 2 days to the upside, then I might think about jumping in some more. So that was hertz. Now at 10,560, how can I make 1% per week? So far, I've lost 37% so far. Ugh. Ugh. You're in at 775. All right, so you have a couple of choices. Number one, wait for the bottom. Before you dollar cost average, wait for the bottom. Because it's going to go down, and it's going to continue to go down until it's done. It's just the way it is. Stocks go up, stocks go down. They go up until they're done, and then they go down until they're done. Okay, now we, me, you, and everybody else in the audience, we are the buyers, we are the sellers. We decide what is too high, and we decide what is too low. So far, we investors haven't said anything about hertz dropping. Now, it will continue to drop tomorrow and the next day until we, buyers, say, you know what? I like it at 550. Let me jump in and buy some. At that point, then you might think of doing some dollar cost averaging. Also, you could take a look at, holy cow, it's at 556 now. You could sell some sixes, okay? But keep an eye on it, because if she turns around, goes back up over 6, you'd be stuck at 6 for a while. But you keep rolling it forward. But apparently, all the options look like crap after that. So I like going 2 or 3 strikes out, but you can't do that with hertz. Hertz, 2 strikes out is 0. 3 strikes out is 0. 4 strikes out is 0. I don't like trading stocks to have that kind of look to it. And there's a few of them. Hertz is one. Energy Transfer is another. I think AMGN was another. I think. Anyway, yeah. To me, the numbers have to work. And these numbers here, they don't. At least not this week. Sorry. Steve, Mosaic. M-O-S. I said a M-O-S, a T-E-R, a G with a double E. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Sideways, up, down, up. Look at this. I love a big gap down with a turn right there. Well, that looks great. Okay? High, low, was, is, sideways, up, down, up. Not that difficult. Great. What do the numbers look like? The big number on the board, 31.98. Now, we all know the closest whole number to 31.98 is going to be 32. It's going for 45 cents. That is 1.5%. Eventually, you'll be able to figure this out right off the top of your head, because 1% of 32 is 32. But we're at 45. 45 is more than 1%. Okay, great. So that's a yes. So now let's take a deeper dive into the chart to get an idea of where do we think it's going to go by the end of this week, which is Friday. So let's take a look. So a year ago, we're at 27.46. The bottom of the year, 22.29 in the beginning of April. Shoots up, look at this. Isn't that pretty? Sideways, just like that for like 2 months. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, big drop. Now she's going up. Look at this, 2 days to the upside. I want to zoom in a little closer so you get a better look at that. See, you got a better look at it now. See, here's the bottom right there. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Sideways, down, up. Not that difficult. Where do you think it's going to be by next Friday? Well, my guess is it's going up. So I want to do the simplest, safest trading strategy I know of. That is a covered call. So if I'm doing that at 32, it's at 31.98. And it's in an upward trend after a gap down. Gap downs are awesome because they have a tendency to fill. So what does it look like? Well, 31.98, let's take a gander. Mosaic at 31.98. 32, let's call it 32. Covered stock, 32 right there. Now let's change this to just one. There we go, just one at the market. 2 open, and here's Johnny. Buy one covered call of Mosaic, MOS 100. That's the weekly. 15 August 25. That's this coming Friday. $32 call option against the Mosaic stock at the market to open to open. It's all right there. That's the order right there. And if you didn't know, for those of you that are new here, this screen here, this is live and it is being recorded on YouTube. Okay, so I got 3 YouTube channels going at the moment. 2 TikTok channels, 3 YouTube channels. Go figure. That being said, this is live. So if you want to go back and re-watch it, fine, go ahead. It's free information. Why not? So I like this one. Let's take a look. Maximum profit, $54.50. What is it costing me? What's my investment? $31.46. Let's get that calculator. What does that tell me? Clear that. 54.50 divided by 31.46. Cost of commissions including trade, cost of trade including commissions and fees, 31.46. 31.46, grand total of 1.7. This is better than the last one we just saw. This is 1.7% for 1 week, all cash. Well, margin's going to be different. Most likely over 3% margin. Now, margin, like I said, don't do margin until you understand the risks involved. Okay? 1.7. I'm going to write that one down. Mosaic, 1.7. I'll say the M-O-S, a T-E-R. I'll say the G with a double E, 1.7. Okay, N-E-E was 1.4. 1.4. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Uh-oh. Mr. Steve wants to take a look at Meta. Now, I do have some Meta also. M-A-R-A. Okay, first and foremost, high, low, is. Look at the motion, up, down, what's going on here? 1538 to 1550s are going for 44. That's more than 2%. Very close to 3, but not quite. Let's look at the numbers again. A year ago, we're at 16, shoots on up to 30, pulls back down to 10. From 30 to 10, that's a 60% drop. If you're not ready for that kind of a movement, you should not be playing this game, because that's what this game does. You buy a stock, and yes, it can drop 10, 20, 30%. It can also 14 to 20 to 30. That's over a 100% increase. Okay, right here. 14 to 30, that's over a 100% increase. They do that. They go up, they go down. Now, I'm only looking for 1% every week. Consistently. I love consistency. Why not? Uh-oh, let's prove that I am normal. There we go. Drag the puzzle piece to fill the puzzle. All right. Let's take a deeper look. Need the glasses for this. Alrighty, a year ago, 1551, we topped out the year at 30.33. That was back at the end of November. We bottomed out the first week of April at 9.81. Then we jumped back up to 21, and now we're at 15. All right, so let's look at the last 30 days. What do you think? Okay. 1850 jumps up to 2150. Here's the bottom right there. 1, 2, 3 days to the upside. What went here on Friday? Had a nice upward trend 4 days in a row, and Friday she pulled back a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen Monday. Is it going to break this cycle? Is this just an anomaly on Friday? Could Monday just like blow that away and just continue that trend to the upside? It could. But the only way you got to find out is to be online first thing tomorrow morning and watch to see where she opens up tomorrow. If she opens up below this mark here, yeah, I'll have to wait to find a new bottom. But if she's up here, the $16 area, a little higher, then yeah, maybe I will think of getting some more. But I already own some, so let's see what happens. So I'm going to say no to Mara, only because I want to see what she opens up with in the morning. Because this is a good opportunity right there to buy, except for Friday was in a little bit of a, let's call it a curveball. Wasn't expecting that pitch, but that's Mara. Next, ooh, SLB, Schlumberger. In case you guys didn't know, SLB, Schlumberger is a dividend king, which means they have increased their profits for more than 5 decades. Why isn't it on your list? I'm going to say no to this one just by looking. High, low, was, is. Look at the motion. Down, up, down, sideways, and down. Looks like she's in a downturn here. So let's zoom in, see what's going on. Now, bottom, going up. She's kind of going sideways. No real upward trend. So we will keep our eye on Schlumberger this week. I'm going to write it down to keep our eye on it. SLB. Okay. But it's not an opportune time. Unless, of course, she opens up, 33 or higher tomorrow. Because we already have a bottom here. And we want this baby to go up, not sideways. Last over here for Mr. Steve would be Exxon Mobil. XOM. Okay. Here we go. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. What's going on here? That could be important. Okay, it's at 106.80. 106.80 be the 107s. The 107s go for 104. Just below 1%. So here's a question. Do you like it enough to buy ExxonMobil and get less than 1%? Okay, because 104 is definitely less than 107. So if I'm buying it at 107 and selling it at 104, I'm not making my 1%. Okay, I got someone making noise in the background. Kevin. All right. Sorry about that, Kevin. All right. So ExxonMobil, I'm going to say no this week only because the numbers aren't matching up. What does it look like, though, on the chart? Oh, look at that. 30-day bottom was Thursday. Friday was 1 day to the upside, which would mean tomorrow, if she's higher, that's 2 days to the upside. So possibly jumping into this one on Tuesday. So let's write that one down for Tuesday. And see what the numbers look like on Tuesday. Because these numbers right here at this moment in time do not look very inviting. But something I feel I should let you know before we continue. These numbers here, these are market hour numbers, which means from 9:30 a.m. until 4 p.m., these numbers constantly change. So tomorrow morning when the market opens, all these numbers are going to be different. But the math, the equation is the exact same. What's the current price? What's the closest strike price? Is it more than 1% if I'm going to sell an option against it? That's what I'm looking for. Consistency. Remember Rule 5? Do the numbers work? Okay. Next. Do you put your orders in on Monday or other days? And Ron, it's always going to depend on what I have available. But most of the time, I would have to say 90% of the time, most of my trades are Mondays. That's where you get the highest value, the biggest bang for your buck. All right, what else do we have? All right, Gates, did I split some firewood? Yes, I did, Gates. Jen. James, when you roll forward to the following week, do you get the full premium for the current week? Well, all right. So the premium so the premium I collected last week, last Monday, okay, is one thing. And if I have to roll it on Friday, well, I got to buy that option back and roll it forward. But the interesting thing is, when you're buying it back, when you sell the next one, that is covering the cost. So if it doesn't make sense to roll it forward, give you another 1%. So you get 1% last week and 1% next week. So I'm not going to roll forward if the numbers don't look right. So regardless of what I sold it for on Monday, if Friday I cannot roll it forward and pick up another 1% for the following week, I'm not going to do it. Just let it go. At some point, when the stocks keep going up, as the stock keeps going up, so doesn't the values of the options. And at some point, it doesn't make financial sense to hold on to the stock. It's much better just let it go, take the profits, and wait for the stock to come back down again. Because that's all they do. They go up and they go down. See? They go down and then they go up, and then they go down, and then it's going to go back up again. That's all they do. Up, down, up, down. That's it. That's all. Up, down. That's it. So, 30-day high, profit taking. Accumulation, jump in. As it goes back up again, jump out. Let's take a look at the numbers. Here's the bottom here at 107. Okay, it goes from 107 to 113. That's $6. $6 on a $107 stock. Well, that's over 1%. It's right, what, 5 or 6%? So if that is a 5 or 6% move, and I only want 1%, so if I'm buying right here, remember 2 days to the upside, jump in on the third day, okay? I'm buying at this price, I'm selling at this price. I want to get in, I want to get out. I don't want capital appreciation. Okay, for those of you that are looking for capital appreciation, you're in the wrong place. Not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for cash flow. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. That's what I'm looking for this week. Oh, Steve, didn't know that one. Okay, so they're having their dividend this week. So that does change the parameters a little bit. What is the dividend for ExxonMobil? All right, well, let's find out. Now, we found out what we're getting or what we're being offered, just a tiny bit under 1%, and that's just for the premium. So let's find out what is the dividend on ExxonMobil. XOM. There it is right there, the 15th. And it is 99 cents. There's 4 dates to remember anytime you're dealing with dividend stocks. Date number 1 is the announcement date. That's when the company says, hey, this is how much money we made and this is how you're going to get your share. That's the announcement date. Just tell you what it is, when it's going to be. Date number 2 is the EX dividend date. That's the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid out. So if you want to collect the dividend for ExxonMobil, you got to buy it before the 15th, which is August, this Friday. So if I'm thinking of doing ExxonMobil this week, getting a 1% here, a little bit less than 1%. Okay, if I hit my target on here, I get to collect the dividend and a little bit 1%. So in that case, it might not be that bad of a deal. If, of course, you like ExxonMobil. Julie wants to take a look at Target. TGT. Target. Target, if you didn't know, is a dividend king also, which means 5 decades of increased profits. I gotta prove that I'm real over here. Prove that you're real. I'm a real boy. There you go. All right. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up. Simple. Numbers. Biggest number on the board, 105.40. The 105 is going for 156. The 106s are going for 110. So either one of those is going to give you over 1% if you like Target. That's the biggie. Do you like Target? Are you willing to buy it and hold it and cuddle it and be nice? And you want it. Okay, anyway. All right, so that's Target. If you like Target. Continue. All right. All right, so I think we are done with all the questions over here. All righty, done with the questions over there. WHT. Joel, what is WHT? WHT. Washtec Augsburg. Has no options. That means it's going to be a no. Sorry, Joel. Do you put in your orders on Mondays or other days? Mostly on Mondays. Don't forget what I asked. Bruno, what did you ask? Hold on, I go back and see Bruno. Buy 100 shares NY. Cash secured puts, once in a while. CP. Stan the Man. What platform is that? I use Thinkorswim, which is through Charles Schwab. Thanks, man. Can we? Okay, Bruno wants to take a look at Nike and Chevron. Nike, NKE. Interesting. High, low, is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. We're here at 74.19. The 74s are 130. That's nice. The 75s are 84. Both well over 1%. Great. Okay, well, the numbers work. Let's see what the chart says. A year ago, 74. Now, isn't that weird? Think about this. A year ago, the stock is at 74.31. Well, Friday, it closed at 74.19. So you went a whole year and gained absolutely nothing. If you bought it a year ago, 73.41. Today, it's worth 74.19. Go figure. But here's the thing. Went up, it went down. It went up, it went down. It went up, it went down. All that movement. Now, do I buy and hold? Hell no. Why would I want to buy it and make absolutely nothing for a whole year? So I buy it, I sell it. I buy it, I sell it. I buy it, I sell it. That way I can get 1% every single week. Now, I might not do Nike every week. I might do that every 2 or 3 weeks, or every month, or every 2 or 3 months, as long as the numbers work. Because everything's got to flow together, Monday through Friday. What's the chart telling me? Am I going to make a profit? It's really not that difficult. Remember, it was created for a 9-year-old. Now, for those of you who've never met the little princess, we haven't done this in a while. Haven't done this in a while. Come on. Right there. And we're going to introduce you to the princess. Because remember, I told you in 2008, my 9-year-old daughter said, Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? Okay, videos. Oldest videos. Let's go to the oldest ones. And there she is right there.
Like calling it that, but I do.
Let's start it over again.
Hi, I'm JC, and as you being part of my internet website called Thingy, which my dad didn't like me calling it that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stocks that I'll be trading, and every month you'll be getting 4 lists of stocks.
For 20 days.
Here's me. Long time ago. Look at all the hair I had. No gray. My favorite part's coming up. You ready for this? Here it comes. Hold on.
There's a different company paying out dividends. Seriously.
All right. So,
I think just
how do you keep a 9-year-old entertained? Think about it. 9-year-old little girl wants to learn how to trade stocks. how to keep her entertained. I had to make it fun, had to make it exciting, do all kinds of weird stuff. Well, needless to say, that's who it was created for. It had to be simple, safe, predictable, consistent. No way for her to lose. Now, why I say no way for her to lose, I'm only want to look at companies that have at least 2 decades of profitability, which means they got to be at least 20 years old. And if you are a 20-year-old company, consistently profitable, the odds and probabilities of you going bankrupt in my lifetime are probably slim to none. Probably slim to none. That's why I called it no way to lose. There's always ways to lose, but think of it this way. Okay? Can you imagine a world without Coca-Cola? Now, Coca-Cola's been around since I was a kid. It's been around for 140 years, as a matter of fact. I'm kind of thinking, now I could be wrong, I'm kind of thinking that Coca-Cola is going to be here long after I'm gone. So by me investing in Coca-Cola and refusing to ever sell it at a loss, that kind of fulfills that prophecy, never lose. Because the only time you ever lose is by making the conscious decision to sell it for less than what you paid for it. That's rule number 2. Never sell for less than you paid for it. You go against rule number 2, I can't help you out. Because rule number 1 is a pretty good rule, if you think about it. Never buy something you're not willing to hold on to long term. Once you buy it, selling it should never ever enter your mind, unless of course it hits your target price. That's it. If it hits my target price, fine, I'll sell it. Because guess what? It's going to go up and then it's going to come back down again. And when it comes back down again, I'll jump in again. Okay? If you take a look at my trades for the last year, okay, all these trades here, this is for 2024. All the trades I made last year. This is all the trades I made this year. Okay? All my trades are posted online for 3 accounts. I got 7, but I share 3 of them publicly. You will notice that I buy and sell the same stocks over and over and over again. Why? Because they consistently work. They consistently give me 1% every single week. So why not? It just makes sense, right? If something works, leave it alone. Continue doing the same thing. If I had it my way, I'd still be using Windows 95. I thought it was perfectly fine. All right, let's keep on keeping on. All righty, what do we have over here? And Ron, do you put your orders? Yes, I do. Mike Sweeney, what have you been doing with IBM? What have I been doing with IBM? I mean, other than buying it and whatnot? Not quite sure what that means, but okay, let's take a look. All right, so here's IBM. And yes, I do have some IBM. All right. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up, down. What do you think's happened next? Well, they found a new bottom right there. Now they're going to turn around and go back up again. Now, I bought IBM right there after that big drop. Big drop, 3 days to the upside. That's where I jumped in. And yeah, it came down. But here's the thing. I'm okay with IBM. I have no intention on selling it. So let's take a closer look at IBM. Okay, so you see this here? This big drop right here. What was that date? $7.24. Big drop, $7.24. Okay, there's the bottom right there. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. That's where I jumped in right there, 265. So I'm into IBM at 265. Well, at this moment in time, we're down to 242. Well, that's a $40 loss, right? No, it's never a loss until you agree to take it. It's never a profit until you agree to take it. At the moment, it looks like a loss, okay? But here's the thing. It's at 242. Well, I sold the 240, I think I sold the 250s. Picked up 61 cents. Not quite 1%, not even 0.5%. But guess what? I'm still bringing in some cash. I'm still collecting the dividend every 90 days, and I'm also collecting some cash flow every week. It just so happens this week, 61 cents a share. Kind of sucks, but guess what? I'm not losing any money. So as soon as she finds a bottom and turns around, I got to keep my eye on that 250. Because once you sell an option below your purchase price, you could get stuck in that lower priced option. And then you're going to have to claw your way out of it. And that might take some time. Anyway, besides the point. That's what I'm doing with IBM. Now, I might this week, as soon as she finds a bottom and starts to turn around, I might take a look at dollar cost averaging on IBM if I have the ability to do so. But it's one of those things. We'll just see. All right, Mike, hope that answered your question. Kai, love the explanation. All righty then. Benicio, Michael, good evening. Okie Goat Farmer, interesting. Uh-oh. David and Lisa wants to take a look at Advanced Auto Parts. Interesting. Advanced Auto Parts. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, we're at 59.08. What's going on? Well, it kind of looks like we're entering a new trading range. Okay, a trading range here, one here, one here. Now we're going back up to here. Okay, different trading range. Doesn't mean anything. Okay, it's just different range. Okay, so the big number on the board, 59.08. The 59s are going for 380. Can that be right? Is that right? 380 on a $59 stock? Well, that's a nice premium. 59. Whoa. Yeah, those numbers are crazy. Okay, those are aftermarket hours. I don't trade aftermarket hours because it's not very well regulated. All right, so let's take a look at the last 30 days. All right, hold on. Let's do this the right way. A year ago, 59. Look at that. A year ago, 59.30. Where are we now? 59.08. What would be the point of buying and selling? Buying and holding. A year ago at 59, well, we're back at 59 again. But look at all the opportunities to buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. Anyway. All right. A year ago, 59.30. We bottomed out second week of April, 29.36. That's the bottom. Now we topped out just recently. Check that out. Okay, 30 days ago, 60, jumped up to 70. That's a $10 increase. $10 from 60 to 70, that's over 10 bucks. Okay, $10 on a $60 stock, that's about 12, 13% jump right there. Yeah, profit taking. Right here, here's a new bottom. 52 to 62. That's another 10 bucks. Well, 10 bucks on a $52 stock, that's almost 20%. Here to here. No, I would not be jumping into it. Not with a 20% jump right there. Sorry. Think about it. Do the math. Do the numbers. Do the numbers work. Your bottom's right here, just below 52. Okay? And then she went up from 52, almost hit 62. That's 10 bucks. On a $50 stock, that's 20%. No, I don't jump in after a 20% increase. Okay? It's going to pull back a little bit, find a new bottom, then I will take a look at it. Okay? All right, David, hope that made sense. Christia, Mike Howell, on this screen, we are getting chopped off the left side. Chopped off the left side. All right, let's back it up a little bit. Back it up. Oops. There we go. Okay. Okay, Scott Hackler. Can you look at crazy options offered by Advanced Auto Parts? Why? Because look, right now it's at 59. The 59, yeah, that's pretty crazy if you think about it. Does it make sense? Ooh. Now, here's an idea. How about a cash secured put? Look at those numbers. Those are crazy. Jim, take a look at those numbers for a cash secured put. You can do it at 60, $4, 61, 480, 62. Or you can do the 5750s. 57 down here. Anyway, whatever. Take a look at the numbers. Do they make sense? What direction do you think it's going? Well, me, that's a big jump right there. Big drop, another big jump. Now she's coming back down again. What are the numbers telling you? What site brokers your trade? That would be Think or Swim, also known as Charles Schwab. Mark, 1% gain, but 37% loss. Well, that will take 37 weeks to recover. Why would you take a loss, Mark? Seriously, that's my question. Why would you take a loss? I don't like losses. I think I've had 5 all year. CPI report. Will it go up or down? Interesting question. How are you? Where have you been? Missed you. Okay, see, I took a week off. Okay, so for the last 2 years, I've been doing, I didn't take any time off in the last 2 years. So I figured, you know what? I need a week off. Took a week off, did absolutely nothing. World you want to live in, girl? Oh, I haven't seen you. Oh, KG Full. Is this a real stream or fake? That's an interesting question. I like that. Is this a real stream or fake? I don't know. Ask me another question. Why would it be fake? It's a current chart. Thank you, World You Want to Live in, girl. Got to come up with a different name. I have seen 5 different streams with James. Live tonight? You've seen 5 streams live tonight with me? Cool beans. Just making sure. What stock is this? NSX Garage. Dude, how are you today? We're looking at Advanced Auto Parts. I run multiple streams. Yes, I do. I have 2 streams on TikTok. Okay? This one here. The name of this one here. Hold on a second. Dividend Stock Talk. That one right there is the 10-minute trader. Because any video you heard me say, hey, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-minute trader. Because the 10-minute trader, if you actually take a look at that name and actually do some research on it, you'll see I've had that name for over 25 years. Anyone? Hey, James, would you mind looking at Bank of America? BACATION in the summertime. High, low, was this? Look, it's up, down, up, down, up. Interesting, right there. 46.01, the big board. 46 is going for 64. That's over 1.5%. Let's take a better look. Are you ready? Alrighty. A year ago, Bank of America opened up at 38.28. Shoots up, pulls back at the bottom of the year, first week of April, all the way down to 33.03. That's the low of the year in April. Okay? April, then up, down. What's going on next? Last 30 days. What do you think? 30 days ago, here we are, 47. Drops down to 45. 45 to 49 is a $4 increase. Now, $4 on a $45 stock is just a little bit below 10%. But then she pulls back below 45. We got the bottom Thursday, 1 day of the upside Friday. Remember, I like 2 days. So Monday could be a confirmation of a upward trend. Tuesday would be my entry point if I was thinking of doing Bank of America. So I'm going to write Bank of America for Tuesday. So we'll take a look at Bank of America tomorrow, see what she opens up at. And maybe tomorrow night we'll take a look at it and see if it's a contender for Tuesday morning. Tyler, we already did NEE. What stock is on the screen? Bank of America. Glad I got in early. I reinvest earnings from dividends. Nice going, Plumber Tom. NSX Garage. What stocks on the screen? We already did that one. NEE, we already did that one. Margin cost money, absolutely. But I tell you what, REL71177. I actually don't mind paying 8% per year to borrow $100,000 if I'm making 50 to 60% per year. So if I'm paying 8% per year and I'm making 60% per year, you figure out the math. It works for me. Okay, Rel think that's high for NEE. FL Hockey. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I missed it. Oh, I missed all these questions. Okay, there you go. How do you do the covered call for the second week if you roll it? Ooh, that's a great question. How do you roll it? Relatively not that difficult whatsoever. Okay. Here's my stock list for this week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to here, pick any one. I'm going to right click, create rolling order, right there. What it's doing, it is buying back this week's, and it is selling next week's. And there's the offer, 15 cents on a $22 stock. No. If it's not going to be, see, here's my position right here, Dow, 2,200 shares at 24.89, which means I want to get 25 cents premium. Well, they're only offering me 15. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to increase it to 25. Right there, okay? Now it says 25. 24.89, that's my purchase price, what I paid for it. 25 is 1%. Okay, so I want to do a good till cancel order, and then I want to confirm and send. There it is right there. Okay, buy back the 15, sell the 22s, the 22.5 call, didn't change the strike price, left it the same, and I want to get 25-cent limit order, which is 1% of what I'm looking for. It will fill or it won't fill. If it doesn't fill, fine, bye, and I'll pick up another stock. Let's get out of that one. Get out of that one. Back to here, back to there, back to there. Okay, that's how you do it. It's really not that difficult. Great info. Okay, Bruno, can we see Lockheed Martin? We already looked at Nike. Nike was a no. Chevron, CVX. CVX, Chevron. Okay. High, low, was, is. Look at the motion. Up, down, up. Okay. It's at 155. 155 is going for 185. That's well over 1%. Great. Let's take a close look at the chart. Glasses. A year ago, 145.32. High of the year was a double high at 169, and that was toward the end of March. We bottomed out the beginning of April. 131.98. Now look at that from the beginning of April. Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. What's going on here? Well, let's zoom in a little bit closer, look at the last 30 days. Then we have a good idea. Where do we think it's going to be come this Friday? Well, here's the last 30 days. Up, down, up, down, up. It's at 155. The high is 157. What do you think? Is that a gamble you want to take? You want to buy here at 155 and go for that last 1%? Well, what's 1% of 155? 15 cents. Does it have room to go up another 15 cents? Well, of course it does. Wait a minute, is that 15 cents? No, it's $1.50. Does it have enough room to do $1.50? Sorry, it's $1.55. Does it have enough room to go up 155? That's your choice. Hockey, covered call only works if stocks stay flat or go up. Joe, you forgot that one. All right. Jeff Arnold, Road End, good evening. Been doing this for 40 years. Way to go, Joe. Stocks hours up. You cannot roll enough. Yep. He says he's just about right. No one's admitting this. No. I'm saying you're right. They are closing 1,000 stores this year. Yes, they are. Walgreens will be delisted. Yes, it probably will. We stopped doing Walgreens about last year sometime. Okay, Jose, we already checked ExxonMobil a little while ago. Better to not do SILD covered calls. Okay, Joe, I have no idea what SILD means, S-I-L-D. Does anybody else know what SILD means, S-I-L-D? I have no idea what that means. What platform best for options? Okay, greetings, blah, blah, blah. Buy 100 shares, blah, blah, blah. Cash secured puts. Yep, don't forget what I asked. Yep, we did that one. If a contract is an exercise and you keep the stock, do you sell a single the next week for a new strike? Absolutely. Brian, whatever strike price is closest to where the stock is headed, but not below what you paid for it. Okay? Could you go back to buying the covered call on MOS? I am using Robinhood and not sure which contract to pick. Chi Fei, hold that thought for 1 second. You did say MOS, right? MOS. MOS, a T-E-R, a G with a double A. Now, I did not say that I was buying it. I said I would buy it if she opened up at 132 tomorrow or higher. Because here's your bottom. 2 days to the upside. There they are right there. One more day to the upside would be tomorrow. That would be my chance to jump in. And right now, it's at 31.98. So the closest strike price to 31.98 is going to be 32. So the 32 is going for 45 cents, which is over 1.5%. Apparently one of my YouTube channels stopped. All right, well, let's just start it again, shall we? All right, next on the list, we already did Mikey. We already did Nike. Prop. What the heck is prop? P-R-O-P. P-R-O-P. Hell no, I don't do monthlies. Who came up with that one? Timothy. P-R-O-P. Prairie Operating. Yeah, I don't do monthly options. They just don't pay the same. They just don't work for me. You like them, you do them. I don't do them, they just don't work for me. UNH, University of New Hampshire. High, low, was, is. Look at the motion. Sideways, down, now up. Well, that's pretty good if you think about it. Because you're going to make the most amount of money buying low and selling high. Well, you can't get any lower than the low of the year. This thing was at over $600 a year ago. Now it's down to $250. The bottom was last week. That's where you make your money, buying low and selling high. But do you like this company? Does it make sense to you? Is it something you want to buy and hold on to for the long term? If it just so happens to hit my target, see you later. So let's take a look at the numbers. $250.89 is the current price. 253, the 255s are going for 275. That's well over 1%. Well, great. Let's take a better look at it. A year ago, 566. We topped out the year at 631, and that was in the beginning of November. Well, look at this. The last 30 days. Okay, 30 days ago, 300. Down, 235. 3 days to the upside. 1, 2, nope, didn't quite make it. I want the third day above the second, which means it's not there yet. It could be there tomorrow. Okay, 2 days to the upside. And then the third day, I want to jump in. It hasn't gotten there yet. It's just going sideways at the moment. So maybe. So 250, what does the 250s look like? Well, let's take a look. I'm going to change it to covered stock. The 250s right there. One contract at the market. Here we go. Buy one contract. Covered call. UNH 100. That's the weekly. 15 August 25. That's this coming Friday. The $250 call option against the UNH stock at the market to open to open. Profit, $200. What was it costing me? $24,000. I don't know. Let's find out. Only making $200 and it's going to cost me $24,000 divided by 24,800. 0.8. That's not 1%. I'm going to say no to UNH. As much as you like it, the number's just not working for me. Sorry. Joe wants to take a look at Wally World. WMT, Wally World. Hell no. Okay, I don't buy at the high of anything. Sorry. No. Scott C. What's happening? Hertz is not a dividend king. Yes, I'm aware of that. Betty, Joe, stock market based on economy and earnings, bottom line. Alrighty, thank you for that. Benji wants to take a look at Pfizer. No, he's not addressing my text. Joe, you cannot keep rolling it forward. Joe, I'm well aware of that. Okay, I did not say you could roll it forward forever. If the stock doesn't keep going up, if it just goes sideways, yeah, you can roll it forever. If it stays within that range. But as she increases, eventually you're not going to be able to roll it forward. Okay, I acknowledged it earlier. You just weren't paying attention. Benji wants to take a look at Pfizer. PFE. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Sideways, down, up, 24.58. 24.58 to 24.50s, 29, just barely 1%. Okay, do I like Pfizer? Well, let's take a closer look at it. A year ago, 28.51. The high of the year, 30.45. The bottom of the year, the first week of April, 20.91. All right, well, look at the last 30 days. There you go. 30 days ago, high, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up. 1, 2 days. 2 days to the upside. So tomorrow, if Pfizer is a little bit higher than 24.58, I will jump in. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at 24.50 on Pfizer. Just doing one contract. See what it says. Market. And here we go. Buy one covered call. Pfizer 100, 15 August 25. That's this coming Friday. The 24.50 call option against the Pfizer at the market to open, blah, blah, blah. Maximum profit, 21.50. It's going to cost me $2,400. Let's take a look at those numbers, see what it looks like. Is it going to be worth my while to do this? 21.50 divided by 24.29 gives me a grand total of 0.88, not quite 1%. Sorry, just doesn't work. However, if you really like Pfizer and if it makes sense to you, remember all those numbers are going to change first thing in the morning. So in the morning, if the numbers change, it might actually be a good trade. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Let's get out of there. All right, I'm going to grab a seat. Still not 100% from my sickness 2 weeks ago. Figure I'd go up to Maine and rest and do a lot of nothing. Almost back to normal. Just that last tiny bit. All right, so let's get rid of that. Let's get this back to single. Let's get out of there. And now we're back to where we were again. Uh-oh. IS. Oh, wow, I missed a whole bunch. All right, I missed a whole bunch. I gotta go backwards a little bit. All right, here we are right there. Yep. Stock market based on economy and earnings. Bottom line, thank you, Joe. Jose, ExxonMobil, we already looked at. Benji, we already looked at that. Notice he's not addressing my text. Yes, I am. And you spelled text wrong, by the way. No. Good evening. Joe H., you cannot keep rolling it forward. Yes, Joe, I'm well aware of that. You said like 4 or 5 times, and I agreed with you each time, and I don't know why you keep saying it. Jose, we looked at ExxonMobil. DJ, what are your thoughts on Chipotle? Is that CMP? What is Chipotle? Anybody? CME? No. I don't know what Chipotle is. I don't trade it. It doesn't have any dividends. Okay, Joe, we looked at Wally World. Tina, up. What the heck is up? UP. Wheels up. Yeah, no. Sorry. It has to fill the gap. Yes, it does. I get that. I don't do monthlies. Hertz doesn't have a dividend. Twisted Philly, you're absolutely correct. So the chart lets you know if the covered call is even an option. No. Okay, the chart just tells me which direction the stock is moving. It's hard to see your screen. Sorry, Tina. Joe says no to something. I have no idea what he's saying no to. What stock is that? Jose, that is UP. Marina, Jose, MOS. Okay. All right. Prithapel Tour, UNH. We looked at that one. Got KTOS at 40. KTOS. KTOS. Okay. Number 1, never heard of it. Number 2, you bought it at 40. Should you sell? Now, I don't know anything about you, Kevin. So it would, Kelvin. I don't know anything about you, so for me to give you advice would not be appropriate. Okay, but I can tell you a couple of things. Might be helpful. Number 1, it's not a profit until you take it. Okay, you bought it at 40. Great, 40's down here. Now it's at 60. Whether you decide to sell or not, that's up to you. That's a 50% increase. Take it, don't take it. That's your choice. Okay, I don't know who you are, so I really can't tell you. All right. Hava, good evening. Mike, Exxon dividend is on the 15th. Yes, we got that one right. Kevo, you still choose the closest strike on a position you are down in. No. Okay. When the stocks I buy are down and I'm selling an option below what I paid for it, I want to take a look at what I paid for it, where the stock is currently, and where is there a safe spot between what I paid for it, what it's at now, and far enough away where I'm bringing in some money, but not at a risk of losing. Michael wants to take a look at British Petroleum, BP. No. Wasn't that quick? Remember I told you 3 or 4 seconds? I don't buy anything at the high. You see where it is right there? I don't buy anything at the high. Sorry. Got Katos at 40. Yep, we already did that one. Cool Arrow. Simone is in the house. Riley. Let's take a look at Riley. R-I-L-Y. Interesting. Now, I do have some Riley, okay? And I did buy Riley at $2.95. And just like Joe said, it got up to a certain point right here at the 650 where it didn't make sense to hold on to it anymore and just to let it go. But apparently it pulled back and nobody actually bought the options. I mean, nobody actually bought the stocks from me, even at $2.95. It was crazy. All right, first thing I want to do, the high of the year, way up there on $10. The low of the year, down here, 250 area. Now we're sitting at 525. Okay, what does the last 30 days look like? Okay, so 30 days ago, we were at the bottom at $4. She jumps up to 6. That's a 50% increase from here to there. Then she goes from 6 down to 4.8. That's a nice little drop. Well, we're at 4.8 now. Well, I'm in it at 295. And I sold the 3s last week and nobody bought it from me. Kind of weird, but is what it is. So at this moment in time, the 550s for Riley are going for 29. Well, that's a nice return if you like Riley. I put Riley down because I like Riley. It's a cheap stock, and it usually always gives me 2 to 3% every single week. So, if bottom is here, 405, here's the top, here's the bottom, where's it going next normally? Well, it looks like it's looking for a new bottom. So I'm not going to do anything until we find the new bottom. Well, who knows when that's going to be. All righty. What's next? Amazon price at Monday, what would it be? Who man? I don't do Amazon. Amazon doesn't have any dividends. So how do you know if Amazon's profitable or not? Does get called away count as selling for a loss? No, Kevo. Okay, getting called away usually at this price right here, 525, I'd be looking to sell the 550s. So if it gets called away, I'll be getting 550 plus whatever the premium is. So you got to count the premium as money coming in because someone has to pay that out. Mitchell Howell, BP. Didn't we look at BP a second ago? British Petroleum. Yeah, that was a no. See, it's at the high at the moment. I don't buy at the high. See, isolate the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I don't buy at the high. Sorry. Voice of Freedom looks like legalized gambling to me. It could very well be. ETFs are great for those people who want to give up control to someone else. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, this is not a game for everybody. Okay, at some point you get two choices and only two. Okay, learn to do it yourself or take what someone else is offering you. So you're talking about ETFs. Well, great. You're going to hand your money over to some computer and the computer's going to do it for you. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do it. I don't, but a lot of people do. Jose wants to take a look at 3M. All right. Ms. Kim, also known as Portfolio Queen, I have it as well. I don't know which one you're talking about, but okay. Jose wants to take a look at 3M. Here we go. Well, look at 3M's at now. It's going to be a no because 30 days ago, up, down, up. She's a little bit out of reach now. No, I don't do high. Joe Burman. We already looked at Advanced Auto Parts a little while ago. Did you get into CVS and did anyone check on Roger? I have no idea who Roger is. But let's take a look at CVS. CVS. Ooh, interesting. Okay. High, low is, look at this, up, down, and she's going up now. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit closer. Before we do, 65.54, 66s. I need the glasses, can't see that far. That's like 5 feet away and I can't see that far. All right, 65.54, the 66s are going for 76. That's well over 1%. Okay, well, let's check the numbers. A year ago, we're at 56.33. See, pay attention to the chart over here. 56.33 a year ago. We bottomed out at 43.43 the end of December. Then we shot up to hit a high right there, 72.51 at the beginning of May. Well, she drops, retraces, drops again. Look at the new run we're in. Okay, there's the 10th way over there. That's 30 days ago. Drops, now she's shooting up. She's at 65.54, and the high is at 67. What do you think? You think he can squeeze in there and get a little tiny bit out of it? I don't know. Does it make sense to you? These are questions you need to ask yourself. Do I like CVS? Am I willing to buy it where it is and see if it can go up or stay the same between now and Friday? Well, I'd be looking at the 65s because that's already in the money, okay? And that's going to pay out 130. So 130 and 65, that's 66.30. Yeah, I'm going to say no. The numbers just don't work. Sorry. Scotty Young wants to take a look at the Ups Dudes, UPS. UPS. Well, now that's interesting. Okay. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Right here. Here's the new bottom right there. A couple of weeks ago. Bottom of the year for the Ups Dudes. Zoom into that. Here's your 30 days ago. 30-day high was 104. The 30-day bottom is 84. That's a $20 decrease. $20 decrease. That's 20%. A 20% drop. Now she's starting to go back up again. She's at 86.67. Well, it's UPS, number one. Number two, they're at a low for a very long time. What is this? That's a low of the year. Okay? That's a low of the year right there. She's there. Now she's bouncing off that bottom. Does it make sense? The 87s. Well, the 87s are right there. Well, let's see. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Covered call. I said the 87s right there. One contract. There we go. At the market. There it is. And voila. Here we go. Buy one covered call. UPS 100. 15 August. That's this coming Friday. The 87 call option. At the market. To open. All right, fine. $58 is going to cost me $8,600. All right, calculator. $58 divided by 86.42. 0.67. No, thank you. Simple, right? All right, so I don't like the 87s. Just not enough money there. So wait until the morning if you really like, UPS, because the chart looks good. The chart looks good. Just wait till the morning till these numbers change and then see if it makes sense. Kim, you have CVS. Awesome. USAR, Rare Earth Minerals. Javier, why is it? I got a funny feeling this is going to be a no. USAR. Wow. Interesting. That is definitely an interesting chart. 1687 to 17 is going for 110. Well, let's take a look at this for a second. USAR. Now, where I am now is I'm on Yahoo Finance. Now, I always tell people, if you're going to be investing, you probably should have at your fingertips the use or access to financial website. This is Yahoo Finance. USAR, there it is right there, 1626. All right, fine, dandy. I want to look at historical data. Okay, historical data is basically the open, the close, the high, the low, all that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. Also, the dividends are in there. So I want to click on this right here. Okay. Historical prices. Right there it says dividends only. Well, I want to see how consistently profitable this company has been over the last 10 or 15 years. And take a look. There are no dividends in the selected time period. So why would I want to take a look at USAR? Okay, the only thing I like about dividend stocks is their consistency and their predictability. Okay, so if you know when a stock is going to pay a dividend, stocks have a tendency to go up just before the dividend. So why the hell not? No dividends means I don't have a good, accurate idea of when it's going to move. So if I don't know when it's going to move, why would I buy it? Sean, what's your thoughts on BBAI after all the news? Okay, Sean, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never heard of BBAI. BBAI. All right, well, let's see what those dividends look like. There are no dividends for BBAI either. Sorry. Michael, perfect. Bert, awesome, thank you. Jose, we looked at 3M. Hold, Mark. Michael wants to take a look at Mark. Mark, MRK. Let's get rid of this. MRK. All right, Mark. Interesting. High, low, was, is, latest. Up, down, up, down, up. Okay, it's got an upward trend at the moment. Let's take a look. 30 days ago today, right there. What do you think? What do you think that looks like? Okay, down, up, down, up. Simple, right? It looks like it should be going to the upside. All right, well, what do those numbers look like? Well, at this moment in time, the big number on the board is 80.69. So the 81s are going for 112. That's more than 1%. It's a simple math program. It's always going to come down to the same things. Do I like this company? Do I like this company at this price? Does it make sense to me? Is this something I can picture myself doing? How old were you when you made your first million? Nice question. Hey, a new follower, interested in learning your approach. Mr. J questions. Good evening, good evening. Please see PSTV and HCTI. Fly one higher. Interesting. Okay, so Mark doesn't look that bad. Let's check out the 81s. $81 for Mark. Here we go. Buy one, covered call, MRK, Mark. 100, 15 August. That's this coming Friday. The $81 call option at the market. Okay. 148, 79.52. What kind of return is that? 148 divide 79.52. 1.8%. Ooh, and I like Mark. $1.8. I like 1.8%. All right, fly one higher, PSTV. What the hell is PSTV? Not a good thing when I have to say that. PSTV. Hell no. Has no options. HCTI. HCTI. Hell no. Okay, so who is that? Fly one higher. Okay, thank you. Mr. Why weekly options? Because I'm retired and I like to have weekly cash flow. If you know of another way where I could get weekly cash flow on a consistent basis, safely, I'm more than willing to listen to what you have to say. Gabe, how many monitors do you have? 1, 2, 3. 4 at the moment, not including the phones. One favorite stock is ET. I know some don't like it. Nice dividends. What's your opinion on XDTE and other ODTE funds? Ooh, XDTE. XDTE. No, I don't do monthlies. 15 August, 19 September, 19 December. Yeah, those are monthlies. I don't do them. The numbers just don't work. Terribly sorry. Jeff, one of my favorite stocks is extraterrestrial energy transfer, ET. I don't like energy transfer. See these numbers over here? 1 strike out. You're at 1. The numbers are just horrible. So yeah, I don't do energy transfer. There's a couple I don't do anymore because of the premiums aren't that good. 1792, the 18s. Well, the 18s are going for 1 penny. Explain to me why you think that's good. Okay. SRFM. Smurf. SRFM. Smurf'em. No dividends, no thank you. No options, no thank you. What's my take on APLD? APLD. Nope. Sorry, you missed the boat. See, look at it right here. Look. 30-day bottom, your 30-day top. What's going to happen next? Next, this baby's going to drop after your profit taking. Okay, so you have a bottom here at 10 bucks. Okay, here's your bottom right there, 10 bucks. Shoots up to 15. Well, from 10 to 15 is a 50% increase. Okay, 10 bucks, 15 bucks. Yeah, profit taken. Yeah, it's coming, whether you like to admit it or not. Oh, Papa Laos had 25 contracts as COP, ConocoPhillips, 95, and 1 contract to sign when stock never hit 95. Okay, now Papa Laos, you got to remember this, okay? Just because it doesn't make sense to you why somebody would buy it from you at 95, whoever bought it from you at 95, I'm sure they had their reasons. Granted, it didn't make financial sense, but they bought it anyway. Metalface wants to take a look at Micron. Yeah, that always boggled my mind every once in a while, where somebody will exercise an option that doesn't financially make sense. Well, here's the thing. When you sell options, you're going to have that scenario happen once in a while. Lake Run, AutoZone, I don't do stocks over 300 bucks. Sorry, dude. All right, so what are we looking at? Micron. High, low, was, is. Look at this. Sideways, down, up, down, up. We're at 118 at the moment. Let's take a look. 118. We'll look at the 119s. Ooh, $3. The 120s, 250. The 121s, too. Yeah, this one has some nice premiums. If you like Micron. Okay, we don't have much time left to go. Let's answer some questions and see we can go from there. No more questions over here from you guys on Zoom? All righty. That works. Okay, Voice of Freedom wants to talk about ETFs. ETFs are always different because it always depends on which ones they are. Oh, just a boat detailer. NIO Corporation. What the heck is NIO? NIO. NEO. Interesting. Why have I never heard of NEO? NIO. Let's see what kind of dividends NIO has. No dividends at all. So much for that idea. Okay, Lake Run, AZO, AutoZone. Didn't I just say I don't do stocks over 300? AZO, AutoZone. Yeah, 4,000 bucks. Yeah, no. I'm not quite sure why you think I'd buy a stock for 4,000 bucks. And it's a monthly. Yeah, no, thank you. All right, so what do we have for questions? What's your take on APLD? Didn't we already look at that earlier? APLD. Yeah, that was a no because it's too high. Hey, we already did Mark, MRK. Kit Kat, how are you? K-Mac, why it says March 4? What does it say March 4? Because where I'm looking, it says August 10th. Right up here. August 10, 22:30, 22:44, which is 11:15. I don't know where you're seeing that one. All right. K-Mac, is this a recording? No, it's not. Lake Run, AZO, AutoZone, we looked at that one. Thoughts on staking Ethereum? I don't do cryptocurrency. UPS, we already looked at that one. OKLO, what the hell is OKLO? Now, didn't we look at that one once before? OKLO. Yeah, no, it's in a pullback at the moment. See, there's the high, 1, 2, 3 days down. Okay, maybe next week, the week after. Just a boat tiller, Neocorp. Yeah, we looked at Neocorp, no dividends. Ooh, cool, Arrow. Starbucks, SBUX. Interesting, very interesting. It's the high, the low, where was it, where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up. Okay, let's see what it looks like. 92.12, the 92s are going for 132. Well, that makes sense. A year ago, we're at 93.82. The high of the year was 117.46. That was back in March. Okay, well, the end of April, 75.03 is the bottom. All right, well, the last 30 days, take a look. What do you think? Down, up, down. Now she's heading up. Look at all the space you have there. That's a nice setup if you like Starbucks. All right, so the 92s, yeah, the 92s look pretty good. So let's take a look at the 92s. Right there, covered stock, 92s right there, and one contract right there at the market. There we go. And confirm and send. There it is right there. Buy one, right there, buy one covered call of Starbucks 100. That's the weeklies. 15 August 25. That is this coming Friday. The $92 call option against the stock at the market to open, which means we're going to do two orders. We're going to buy the stock, going to sell the option. What are we making? We're making $102 off of $9,000 just for 1 week. The nice thing about it is you can do it every single week. Now, you might not get $102 every single week, but what are you going to be making? You're going to be making something as long as the cash flow is there and has weekly options. Why the hell not? Okay, so $102 divided by 9,098 bucks. 1.1%. All right, let's keep on looking at questions. Just about Tila. Neo Corporation doesn't have dividends. Eli Lilly, Sam the Man. Eli Lilly. Ooh, interesting. I'm going to say no until we find the new bottom. Look at this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Big drop. Bottom right there. So we're looking for a bottom. Haven't found it yet because tomorrow could be lower. Tuesday could be lower. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a bottom, turn around, and then go back up. That's what we're looking for on Eli Lilly. Starbucks we looked at. UPS we looked at. Okay. La Caledime. Good evening. Novo. Ooh, I actually have some Novo. Well, let's take a look at it tomorrow. We're running out of time. SRFM, never heard of it. Okay, Lakefront, we already looked at AutoZone. Okay, I don't do stocks in the $4,000 area. Sorry. What's your take on APLD? We already looked at APLD earlier today. Okay, remember, this is recorded, the screen. Okay, so after I am done here, okay, it is 10:48 p.m. on a Sunday. What is today's date? 8/10/25. Yeah, so we are live at this moment in time. Okay, after we're done, you can rewatch it. All right, COG, CIG, CMG. Okay, fine. But we got a whole bunch of questions to answer here and over there. So just sit tight. We'll have to look at those tomorrow. If you guys want to come back and look at tomorrow. Okay, Road BV, whatever that is. We already looked at UPS. Lake Run. I'm going to tell you that for like the 5th time, 6th time. Dude, I asked the question just once. AZO, AutoZone, $4,000 a share. Yeah, no, thank you. Meta, no. Meta has just recently started paying dividends. What are they in? Year number 2, year number 3? Yeah. Ooh, Brady wants to take a look at MetLife, MET. Interesting. I'm going to say no because I don't do monthlies. See this over here? Those are months of the year. Let me read them to you. You ready? 15 August, 19 September, 17 December, 16 January, 20 March. Those are all months of the year. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work for me. So if a stock drops $3 on you, you keep selling covered calls at your original strike price. Time to delete? No, I never said that. I said it's always going to be about the numbers. I check, what did I buy it for? What strike price did I sell? Where's it at now? Where's the best place for me to trade an option? So I'm not at risk of losing, but I still have money coming in. It's always going to be a numbers game. High, low, in, out, yes, no, blah, blah, blah. Do Sana, S-A-N-A. What the hell is S-A-N-A? S-A-N-A. Hell no, I don't do monthlies. What did I already say? Tour. Hey, Doc's in the house. Doc, I tried calling you earlier. Wavelength. Philip Morris. We'll have to take a look at that one tomorrow. AMJ. Content creator. Well, good evening, AMJ content creator. Eddie, what's happening? Ford, huh, Eddie? NextEra Energy. Aaron, we already did NextEra Energy earlier today. Murital, okay. Now, okay. Jamie, good evening. User. Osvaldo, target 105. Now DOD not get exercised. I made 1.3. Which price should I sell my call now? Well, you can check with me tomorrow. All right, I got a lot of questions to answer. Did Scotty Young 5-year low? Cool beans. Cool Arrow, COP, ConocoPhillips, Scotty Young, thank you, you're welcome. How are you doing all these calculations? Top of my head, dude. Okay? Okay, when you get good at math, you get pretty good at math. So, calculations right in my head. What's 1% of, what is it at now? $3? 3 cents. AMD put 150 tomorrow. Okay. What are we doing? Where are we putting our money? Luke, how are you today? Well, Luke, it is 10:52. I'm done in about 8 minutes, and I got a bunch of questions here, here, and here. So I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. Advanced Micro Devices, Snuggie, Cool Beans, Osvaldo here. Bought target at 100, made a profit. How much should I sell the call for now? It's at 105. All right, well, Osvaldo, here's an idea. Okay, you said you bought target at $100.69, and you say the stock's at 105.45. Now, I'm not a math whiz or anything, but if the stock is worth more now than what you paid for it, well, why not sell the 105s, 106s, the 103s, the 104s, anything over and above what you paid for it? Okay, whatever you make is going to be pure profit because the stock is already above what you paid for it. Look at Macy's. Links, I'm not really looking at anything else at the moment because we've got 7 to 8 minutes left. Eaton, okay. What stock was that? That was SANA. I have no idea what that is. Am I a day trader? No, I am not. Yes, not below your strike. Mehesh, how are you today? Awful Madden plays. When I see a company with dividends, to me it means they don't want to invest any more to their company. Okay, if that's what that means to you. All right. What it means to me is there are two different types of companies. One company actually shares their profits with the investors. You seem to have forgotten the stock market started in 1602. It originally started with the intention of sharing the profits of their endeavors. I think it was VOC, which was the Dutch East India Shipping Company. The only way for them to do what they did was literally to go door to door and, hey, if I got a great deal for you, you invest in our company and we promise to share the profits with you as we divvy up the profits. Dividends. Okay, it's one of the oldest trading strategies there are. If the company is run properly, investors want to get a return on their money. So there are basically two different types of companies. One's growth and one income. You need to decide what you're looking for. Well, here I'm strictly income. I'm 61. I don't have the privilege of being wrong, which means if I put money into a company and sit and watch it and wait for years, well, where am I going to get my money to live from? It means I have to go back to work. Yeah, no, thank you. Sorry, I've been working since 1973. You do realize 1973. That's a long time to be working. All right? So I'm at that point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to step down and let the younger crowd fill in. I'm just doing my part. I put in my 40 or 50 years. Fine, let the younger crowd take over. So I don't have the privilege of being wrong. So I'm looking for cash flow, not capital appreciation. Because capital appreciation doesn't pay my bills. COUR, I have no idea what that is. STRK, STRF, maybe tomorrow. XRP is not a dividend stock. What app is that, UNC? This is Think or Swim. It's available for free. 15% government profit taking from AMD. Okay. Chewy? Yeah, no, they're not 20 years old. UNC, are you read TikTok chats? No, I don't. Snuggie, what's your take on 15% government taking AMD profits? I would have to look at the fine print. What does that mean? And where did you get that idea from? Veil. Ooh, Veil. Let's take a look at that tomorrow, Eric. Who? I like AMAT. Applied Materials. Okay. Do you ever invest in the S&P? Hell no. Did you check out the numbers for the S&P's performance? Hell no. LOS. What do you do if the stock drops like 10% after selling a call option? Wait. That's it. Just wait. Stocks go up, stocks go down. Guess what? You buy a stock and it drops 10%. Well, wait for it to turn around and move back up again. Not that difficult. What are my thoughts on Chipotle? They don't pay dividends. Dollar Tree, Paul, we'll have to look at that one tomorrow. SPX, stop loss. Take a look at that one tomorrow also. OKLO, Jack, we looked at it already. Skip. Hey, James, was Ford good to you last week? I didn't do Ford last week. The numbers just didn't look good. Duck JU, 1602. Yep, absolutely. In the late 1500s, businessmen in the Netherlands got together and said, hey, I want to create the biggest, baddest company we've ever seen on the planet. And it's exactly what the Dutch East India Shipping Company was. It was the biggest company on the planet at the time. How'd they do it? Well, they went door to door, doing something they've never ever done before, offering to the peasants. The peasants. Hey, you want to buy some of our stock? Cost you a couple of bucks, and we'll share the profits with you. That's what the whole pitch was. David, option trader. Yep. Apply AI to do all the calculations and charting. How about no? I don't trust computers as far as I can sell them. I'm new to this. What should I invest? Investor 369. Okay, I don't know you from Adam, so I don't give advice to people I don't know. If you want to have a conversation, and I say this every single night, okay, number one, I don't do Instagram, I don't do Telegram, I don't do WhatsApp, I don't do all that weird stuff. You want to have a conversation with me, send me your number. I will personally call you myself. I'm not going to pass on your phone number to someone else. I will call you myself. You put your name, not here on the screen, DM, direct message, and I will give you a buzz tomorrow. If the stock drops 10%, do you still continue to sell calls? Absolutely, Mikey. Just a little bit more cautious. What did I invest in last week? Oh my goodness. I have 7 different accounts, so there's a whole bunch I invested in last week. Okay, so done. So we got 2 more to go. What do we have over here? Jay Lee, my day's going wonderful. Jack, hola, how are you? Nah, Friday. All right, Jack. Kex, I have no idea what KEX means. What are the fees? I'm pretty sure it's like a 15 cents per contract, I think. Don't let the big drop scare you. Absolutely not. The best stock opportunities come with big risk of being in the ground floor. Okay. Kiki, it's a good idea to reinvest the dividends. Absolutely. What do I think of FN? We'll have to look at that one tomorrow. IS, sir. When you will tell your trading strategy. I already said that one. It's a simple trading strategy. I invest in dividend stocks, specifically pre-qualified dividend stocks, just before the EX date, and I use a covered call strategy. That's my strategy. What am I liking for this week? Ooh, a whole bunch of them. MRK, KOP, COP, SNV, VFC, SLB. Brad, I like Merck. I like ConocoPhillips. I like VFC Incorporated and Schlumberger. SNV, I have no idea who they are. Zach, only dividend stocks. Yeah. Because dividend stocks have a tendency to be repetitive and predictable. So by knowing what a stock is going to do and what it normally does at a certain period of time, well, that kind of gives me advantage over the other traders. And what I'm looking for is a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week using a safe trading strategy where there's no directional movement needed whatsoever. It's good when there is some, but it's not needed. What stocks we buying tomorrow? Hollywood. What's happening, Hollywood? Okay, thank you there, James. Where are we? Is that 7,000? I have no idea what that means. All right, Hugo. Vibe with Tio. Good evening, Tio. James Stephenson. Will you do covered calls on index funds ETFs? Only if they have weekly options and if they have, if the numbers make sense. Okay, I'm a big numbers person. Ceiling newbie, what's up? Zach. Or is there a range you ever target with implied volatility? Zach, I don't even pay attention to implied volatility. I know. Do you show another safe strategic on your morning group and how much to get on it? User 75407733. Why can't your parents name you Ted? I'm going to call you Ted. Okay, so Ted, are there other safe trading strategies? Yeah, there are. Do I teach them on the morning trading group? Yeah, I do. Now, I'm not going to, I make a promise every single night. I'm not going to make any pitches. I'm not going to say how much what is or how to buy it. We're all adults here. We know how it works. You just go up to the bio. Okay, you go to the website and you just follow the links. You know, it's simple. What's up, Sailing Newbie? Ray Phillip. Do you recommend buying treasury bonds now? 4.2% yield. Only for rich people that can live comfortably on 4%. Now, I can live comfortably on 1% per week. That's 50% per year. That's comfortable for me because we are all different. If you can live off of 4.2% on a yearly basis, more power to you. Good for you. Okay? I can't. I want to admit that right now. At 4.2% on an annual basis, I cannot. I'd have to go back to work. Yeah, no, thank you. Laurie, good evening. Thank you for that, Miss Laurie. Shoot, is that 7,000? No idea what that means. Is that 7,000 for what? I have no idea what we're talking about. Scott, Apple. Ooh, I do have me some Apple, and I do like me some Apple. If you had 15,000, where would your top to invest in? Vanna, good evening, and how are you tonight? Now, Vanna, considering I don't know who you are, and I have no idea what it is you're looking for, no idea what your risk factors are, no idea of what your time frame is, no idea of anything about you, other than your name is Vanna, so you say. If you want to have a chat, I mean, I promise you, here's my solemn promise to any one of you. Drop your number in a DM. Send me your phone number. I will personally call you, and I guarantee you, 100%, I will not try to sell you anything. Have I mentioned anything about buying anything here? No. And that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to teach you or to teach my kids. They're not here at the moment. But when I am gone, this is all they're going to have left. How did Dad do what Dad did? That's what I'm making these videos for my children when I'm gone. What's the longest you held the stock? A year. I think it was, hold on, Kohl's. Believe it or not, Kohl's, I made a nice fat chunk of change off of Kohl's. Every single week, I would roll it forward, and it would give me consistently 1%, 2%, 3% every single week. So why would I sell it? Now, Joe earlier mentioned that you can't do that all the time. No, you can't if the stock goes up and goes back down again. But if the stock stays in a range, they call it channeling. Okay, it stays in a very tight range. Well, then you can do it. Yeah, that's Kohl's right there. Never mind. I don't want to bother with that one. All right, what else we have next? Mr. Winter, 21. As long as volatility is there, strong chance of making gains. I'm going to agree with you. Thank you. Benjamin, BKH. Is that Berkshire Hathaway? I don't even bother with them. Same for Pepsi. I like Pepsi. Same for Pepsi stock. It's been very down. Yep, we've been following Pepsi for a while, waiting to find the bottom. The bottom showed up a while ago, but the numbers just didn't fall into place. It's been said. Hello, hello, hello. What do I think about Kita? Matthew, I've never heard of Kita. Jaboka. I want to take a look at Ford. We'll have to take a look at it tomorrow because we're past 11 o'clock and I'm done at 11. Okay, 3 Abel. Pepsi, we'll take a look at that later. Why weekly options? Mr. Okay, MZTER. Why weekly options? Because I want weekly cash flow. Now, if I wanted monthly cash flow, I would do monthlies, but they just doesn't pay the same. If I can get 1% a week, why not? I mean, I'm retired. I have nothing else to do, and it takes 5 or 10 minutes a day. Well, 5 or 10 minutes a day to make 1%, I'm all for that. Because 1% of what I have, it makes me a happy camper. What's the difference between rolling and selling a single the next week? Well, you let one expire. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. You don't have to roll it forward. I mean, you could just let it expire, or you could let it get called away and then roll another one, or then sell another one. Jessica, ultimately. Just one word, Jessica, ultimately. Oh, ULTY. Oh, hell no. Sorry, I'm sorry, Jessica. ULTY has not been around long enough. They don't have enough profitability for me. Kevin, Meta, no. They've only been started paying dividends for 2 years. That's not enough. I want 2 decades. That's 20 years. Sorry. B-Teds for life. It's educational. Thank you there, B-Teds. Alrighty. All right, so let's go over to, because I got I finished everyone except for YouTube. Let's see what questions we have here. Now, YouTube has a tendency, because I have no, what do you call that? No moderators on YouTube yet. Because I'm looking for someone to be a moderator. That's basically someone who filters out all the weirdos. Okay? Does quad rotation on relative strength index work? Peter and Kath, no idea what you're talking about. Okay? I like keeping things simple and easy. Remember, what I'm showing you, what I'm sharing with you was created for a 9-year-old little girl. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way for her to lose. That's what I created for a 9-year-old. That's what I'm sharing. If it's too much for you, I can't help you out. Which one is the best dividend stock weekly paid? Oh, this year. What would it be this year? Now, U.S. Steel was great towards the end of a couple months ago until they got bought out. Anytime someone gets bought out, they have a new market maker. The new market maker gives crappy premiums. So at this moment in time, I don't know which one to tell you. I feel like we are in Samba moments. Okay, Bruno, not quite mean what you mean by that, but all right. Missed you for a few days this week, Dev. Well, took a week off. Can we look at Bank? Okay, Dominic, we looked at Bank of America earnings. Earnings coming out for Advanced Auto Parts, yep. Energy Transfer, no, we looked at Energy Transfer early. I don't like the numbers. Ford, no, I didn't do Ford either. Not all ETFs are computer managed. Many are actively managed by money profit managers, money portfolio managers. Yeah, I get it. But most of them are electronically traded funds, which is computer generated. All right, what do we got here? What's the best way for a beginner to understand and interpret trends? All right, 24-hour extinction. Let me ask you a question. Is that going up? Look at it. Bottom is here, and it's going up. The trend is going up. And at some point, okay, it changes. The trend is going down. It's really not that difficult. Where's the high? Where's the low? Where is the motion of the ocean, the flow of the river, the trail through the woods, whatever you want to call it? Look at the chart. Down, up, down, up, down. It's going down. It's trending down. That's basically as easy as you're going to get it. Riley, no dividends. No, thank you. Why does it make sense? History of earnings losses. Interesting question there, Robert. Reverse your camera so we can read. Jay, you ready? I'm going to reverse the camera for you. Ready? Here we go. Whoops. There you go, Jay. Can you read it now? That's reversing the camera. You're asking me to mirror the camera. Okay? Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't offer the mirroring, what do they call that app on their phone? So I looked at it over and over again right here. These little buttons I can press. Keep pressing all of them. Nothing mirrors the image that I've come up with. Nick Corbeau. Go all dividends, $1 per share, and it's going to run. I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay. Winning trader mindset. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing lovely. Oh, GLW. Isn't GLW? Hold on. Isn't that Corning? Are you in crypto? No. George, Apple has had a bit of a run. What do you see for Apple in the coming week? All right, see, I jumped into Apple at 105. Well, now it's at 120. Isn't it? Wait a second. Yeah. So, yeah, I bought it at 205. Now it's at 220. Now, more than likely, I'm not going to be able to hold on to it much longer because, yeah, Enron loved U.S. Steel too. I did too. They were paying awesome premiums every single week. Okay, so I'm in it at 205 right down here a couple of weeks ago. It went up, it pulled back, now it's going back up again. I tried to roll it forward. At some point, I'm not going to be able to roll it forward because they will not offer me enough money to roll it forward. That makes sense? So if they don't offer me enough money to roll it forward, I just let it go. Because I already bought it at 205, now it's at 229. Let it go. When she pulls back, because look what she did. She's going sideways here for a little bit. She shot up. What do you think is coming next? Well, next is going to be profit taking. It's going to pull back. We got some more questions here. Abel Mal, I love Abel Mal. Jonathan, you're new here. Cool beans. Welcome to the show. Chris, thank you for that. Abel Mal, we'll have to take a look at that tomorrow. Dream State, do you make decisions based off of what you can gather from charts? Not 100%. Okay? First and foremost, all right, first and foremost, who asked me that question? Dream State FX. Okay, so Dream State FX. This is going to be my last one for the evening. I'm going to call it a night. All right, Dream State FX. You ready? What I normally tell people, find a good set of stocks. Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders, Warren Buffett's list, whatever stocks you like. Rule number one, never buy something you're not willing to hold on to till your last days on this little life adventure. If you're not willing to hold it to the day you die, don't buy it. Simple. If you don't want to hold it for the rest of your life, don't buy it. Simple. If it doesn't make sense, don't buy it. Number two, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the game. And yes, it is a game. And if you're not ready for the consequences of this game, you buy a stock, it can jump up 100%, 200%, 5%, whatever. It can also drop 5, 10, 15, 20, 30%. It can. If you're not ready for those big moves, you shouldn't be playing this game. Okay, so behind me, this is a calendar. We all know what a calendar is. It tells us the days of the week, so we can plan out our days, right? Well, this is called an EX dividend calendar. Why do I like this? Because see these little green dots here? They all represent a company getting ready to pay a dividend. It just so happens that all of these companies, all of those little green dots, see what it says right here? 25 years or more of increased profits. All of them. And this is just the month of August. July's different list. August a different list. September's a different list. So every week I'm looking at different companies that are getting ready to pay dividend. Why is that important? Why am I pointing it out? Because here's the thing about dividend stocks. They have a tendency to be repeatable, which means they do the same things year after year after year after year. Hello from Brooklyn. Gene, what's happening in Brooklyn today? So if you knew ahead of time, Granger, Johnson & Johnson, Archer Daniel Midland, Aflac, Clorox, Consolidated Edison, Target, O Realty, IBM, ExxonMobil, Emerson Electric. Most of these companies you probably heard of. So if the company is consistently profitable, that means every year, higher and higher and higher profits. Those are the only stocks I like. If the company's consistently profitable and the list, the calendar tells me what stocks are paying a dividend. Well, if a stock moves up in value, the stock price increases just before the EX date. That's the EX date. By knowing when the EX date, it tells me when to buy or when to look at the stock. And then when I look at the stock, what am I looking for? I'm looking for something that I can see, something that makes sense to me. Okay, high, low, was, is. What's the motion? Up, down, up. Well, that's the motion. What is the last 90 days? Well, the last 90 days right here. Same thing. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Simple. Now let's look at the 30 days, because the 30-day chart will tell me almost accurately where it's going to go next. Well, 30 days ago, we're here. Down, up, down, up. What do you think? Looks like there should be profit taking, because if your bottom is here at 201, and now she jumped up to 229, that's a $30 move. $30 on a $220 stock. That's more than 10%, like 15%. So hypothetically speaking, for what it's telling me is hypothetically there should be profit taking. So do I want to jump in? Hell no. I want to see the profit taking take place and then wait for it to come back down again, for it to consolidate before she turns around and goes back up again. Because if you go backwards, look, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, oh, up. That's all they do. They go up, they go down. They do not come to your house and offer to cook you dinner. They're terrible at walking the dog or taking out the trash. Stocks go up, stocks go down. That's it. That's all. Just put yourself in the right place at the right time and make sure the numbers work. All right, it's 11:20. I'm way past my time. You can't play this game in every market situation. It's too much work and not profitable. Butt crack sniffer. It's an excellent name for you, dude. Are the lists built into Thinkorswim? No, K-Van, they're not. But anyway, butt crack sniffer. Terrible name, dude. You just bleeding your customers dry. I'm not quite sure I'm understanding you correctly. Bleeding my customers dry. Not once have I ever said anything about anyone buying anything or paying me anything. So I have no idea what you're talking about. That being said, thank you for your input. Now, it is past my bedtime. You guys have a great night, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. All right, so you guys over here, see you in the morning. See you in the morning. All right, done over there. And for you guys over here, we're done here. Done here. There we go. And over here, we're ending right there. Stop broadcast. There we go. Oh, okay. So no more tidbits of wisdom from my butt crack sniffer. All right. Shooter Pride. Good night. Skip. Good night. Joe. Oh, Joe. Good night, Mr. Joe. Hope you're okay. All right, so you guys have a great night, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Come on. There we go. And right there. Come on, come on, come on. Now touch me, baby. Can't you see that I am not afraid? Ooh, estimated this live. I made 2 cents. Imagine that.